we find it a very, very unusual place to learn out a principle of Yetziat Mitzrayim. Where is it? It's from the prophecy of Bilam. Bilam, as a matter of fact, said a lot of good things for the Jewish people. Baal Korcho, of course. From what he said positive, we understand what he really wanted to say negative. One of the psukim that Bilam mentions in his second prophecy or blessing, he says, El motzi'am mi Mitzrayim, keto'afot re'em lo. We're going to focus on the first part of the pasuk. It says that God, literally read, takes us out of Egypt. Ohr HaChaim HaKadosh, one of the greatest mystics of history, they say about him that he was a Ma'ayana B'Kaver, ever-increasing wellspring. His Kol Raz Lo Anisle, no secret was hidden from him. Famous story, it's interesting, just as we mentioned, the Tzaddik, why his book is so famous and why he made it into Mikra Gedolot. He's one of the, I think, the only Sephardi in Mikra Gedolot of the later generations. Of course, the Ramban was also. So the truth is, the Baal Shem Tov praised him and said that he was a very lofty neshama corresponding to a level of David HaMelech. And the story goes that if the two would have met, we would have been able to perhaps see Mashiach. Anyway, because the Baal Shem Tov praised the Ohr HaChaim in Europe so much, he became so famous and his parish became so famous. And part of why he's so well known today is really because of the praise from the Baal Shem Tov. Anyhow, he was an unbelievable rabbi, in every sense, a holy person. So he explains this pasuk, El Motzi'am mi Mitzrayim. The lashon Motzi'am really lends to the present tense, and he explains that according to Kabbalah, every Pesach we extrapolate, we take out holy sparks, holy neshamot that are trapped in the forces of evil, in the realms of evil, and it's a continuous process. Therefore, the level of Metziat Mitzrayim that occurred on that day in Egypt, the Etzem Hayom Hazeh, Yatzu B'nei Yisrael Mitzrayim, every Pesach that happens again, the Etzem Hayom Hazeh, we are literally spiritually going out of Mitzrayim in that sparks of holiness and aspects of Kedusha and the Shemot Kedoshot, holy souls, are actually going to be facilitated to become freed, and God will take out more from the level of Mitzrayim, which is the level of the Klipot and the Sitra, which is again the forces of evil. This is not only happening this Pesach, it happened every Pesach, it's happening over and over again. Every year we continue to go out of Egypt in a spiritual sense, and this is going to continue and continue until there'll be no more mixture of good and evil. And at that time, and that day, that's when Mashiach will come and we will be completely out of Egypt. So according to this, every generation has to see himself as if he's going out of Egypt, because we are still going out of Egypt in a literal sense. Now, you're going to ask me now, what does the word ki'ilu mean? Why does it say as if? So according to the spiritual approach to going out of Egypt, we're not fully out yet. So we say as if is because we're still in Egypt. Because even though every year God takes more and more Kedusha out of the hands of evil, we're not fully out. If we're not fully out, then we're still subject to a level of Egypt. So we're still in Egypt spiritually. So it's ki'ilu yatzah, is because only a part goes out every year. It's a beautiful insight into what it really means. Why ki'ilu? Because I'm not fully out yet. Because the Jewish people are not fully out yet. Based on this concept, we will touch on one of the gentlemen mentioned already. The Gemara says that why were the Jews exiled into all of the nations, right? After, of course, Egypt. Why were we, why were the Galu Ben Amim? Why were we exiled into all the nations? So the Sod, the real deep understanding to that is because to bring converts to the Jewish people, and that also means this Kedusha, the sparks of Kedusha that are scattered and stuck between the 70 nations. And so the deeper meaning of Yetziat Mitzrayim and Geulat Mitzrayim, the redemption of Mitzrayim, is to elevate the sparks of Kedusha that are trapped all around the world, and the souls of potential Jews that are still trapped all around the world. That is the deeper meaning of Yetziat Mitzrayim. And that is why it says, El Motzi'am, God takes out the Jewish people from Egypt, because we are still going out of Egypt. And again, the Ohr HaChaim in his Pirush, this is in Bamidbar, Chaf Gimel, Pasuk Chaf Beis, he says at the end, the next Pasuk talks about the idea of necromancy, Nachash, Nichesh, to sorcery. But he says the word Nichesh is also from the word Nachash, which is the snake, which is the root of all evil, is the Nachash. So he says that In the end of days, we will become completely free of the Nachash. That will represent the ultimate Geula, when we will be truly, truly, fully redeemed. And that Beis Hamikdash that we will merit then will be an eternal one. And that's what we're all working for. So we're really all still working toward what we're talking about is the going out of Egypt. We still really didn't get fully there yet, and that is our goal, and that is what we aim for every year, to continue step by step to get out of Egypt. The Hasidic masters really take the same idea, which is again starts off from the Balei Asod, and expresses further that all of the journeys we took in the desert, Eile Masei Bnei Yisrael, the journeys, just like in a journey, you leave one place and you go to another, so too spiritually we are still in the middle of this journey. We are going from one place to another, i.e. from one level to another. We are meant to elevate ourselves level by level until we reach the ultimate, going out of all levels and reaching the perfection that we're destined to reach. And this is hinted to in the Pasuk. It says, as in the days that you went out of Egypt, I will show you wonders. It's a very big problem with this Pasuk. It says days is plural. We all know that we went out of Egypt in one day physically. So it's the conclusion of the same idea. The day we went out of Egypt was really the beginning of a process of going out of exile, ultimately and eternally, which started when we left Egypt, and it ends when Mashiach comes. And all of the days in between are Yemei Tzeitzach Me'eretz Mitzrayim. They are all included in this term, the days that you go out of Egypt. We are constantly meant to go out of Egypt. And that is what we're ultimately trying to accomplish. Hashem should help. We should be blessed. This Yetziat Mitzrayim should be, maybe this year will be Zeicha, to the ultimate Yetziat Mitzrayim. And we'll see the true wonders of Hashem. B'meir b'yameinu.